So check out this story and let me know. Does it remind you of yourself or somebody you love? When Tommy Hilfiger's daughter Allie was 7 years old, her and her family went off to the East Coast for a vacation. When they returned, Allie's mom found a tick on her and sent it off to be tested. And yes, Allie shares it's more than most mothers would have done, especially in the 90s. Well, the results came back inconclusive, and not really knowing what to do, Allie and her family just continued with life. Shortly after that, Allie started to have pain in her knees. And after that came many episodes of strep throat and severe fatigue. And then her pain moved to her hips and then to her head. She started getting migraines and often could not get out of bed. Things became even more concerning when her symptoms became neurological. Her ability to focus, read, and retain information began to decline at a rapid speed. Nobody could understand what was causing it, so they chalked it up to ADD and learning disabilities. And then when Allie was 13, she got into a snowboarding accident that dislocated her right hip, and that's when her symptoms really began to intensify. She had shooting pains down her limbs and back and migraines that would keep her in bed for days. Her ability to read and retain information was completely gone. And you guys, this is exactly what happened to me. 3 years later, she started to have severe anxiety attacks that would cause her to go to the ER. Of course, Allie went to the doctors and they came up with a variety of conditions she might be suffering from. These conditions included rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, an anxiety disorder, and a learning disability. But none of them explained all of her symptoms, and Allie was left very confused. Doctors tested for Lyme using the standard testing, but each came back negative or on the borderline. But even the negative tests showed enough Lyme disease antibodies present that if she was seeing a Lyme literate doctor, they would have caught on that something was not quite right. So with no answers, Allie just kept moving on with her life. She was producing and starring in the show Rich Girls when her neurological symptoms worsened dramatically. She found it nearly impossible to retrieve words, process information, or simply understand what people were saying. These are all long-term effects of Lyme disease, and I too have experienced all of them. Allie seriously thought she was losing her mind, and filled with anxiety and panic, she cried herself to sleep every night. When she was 19, everything caught up with her, and she experienced a severe mental breakdown. She said she had a complete psychotic episode for 2 months. Her parents didn't know what to do, but felt the safest option was to take her to a mental institution. Thankfully, and quite frankly, miraculously, the first doctor that met with her said, "You're okay, and I'm going to get you out of here." He said, "I know you're not crazy, and you're going to be okay." At the hospital, Allie was continuing to have memory loss, headaches, night sweats, overwhelming fatigue, confusion, and an inability to make decisions. That's when the doctor informed her that 50% of Lyme tests in America were inaccurate. He was sending her to a specialist who took an array of new tests and blood work, which came back showing off-the-chart levels for Lyme disease.